Tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with no air. What's poppin', everybody? It's your favorite doc tender, that girl Henny, and I'm here to pour up plenty of the hot Henny on the Diddy court docs that y'all love to sip on. So if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining. Please be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe to the channel. And sit back, relax, kick off your shoes, because we're about to get into this with all this Diddy news. So now, I went live earlier because no, I was not at the courtroom live today. I was present with the tweets from the P. Diddy trial updates on Twitter. So I was reading those for everybody earlier, and then I've gone and I've perused the internet streets and listened to a couple, 2, 3 people and heard a couple, 2, 3 things. Does my mic sound nice? Does my mic sound nice? Because Henny's about to pop her ish right now. We are already getting down to the wire when it comes down to this Diddy trial, and the biases are out of control. I'm talking about the biases on both sides of the fence are out of control. Now, let me explain something to everybody who does not know anything about Henny and who have had misconceptions about who I am. Allow me to reintroduce yourself. I am a doc tender. That does not mean that I am a lawyer. That does not mean that I'm a paralegal. That does not mean that I am a bailiff in a courtroom. What it means is I serve up documentation to you guys, and I do my due diligence and my research on it to make sure that everything that I bring to you guys is thorough, accurate, and as close to legit as it could possibly be. I also break down court docs in a way that people can understand it in the mundane, which means that in layman's terms, I tell you what it is that they're talking about to the best of my ability. And thus far, I have been very much on point with everything that I have said. So y'all make sure that y'all double tap that screen. Let me go over here. Let me turn this off real quick. And let me come back. And we're back. Had to make the screen black while I did that. But anyway, now, when this Diddy trial first started, I will say that the media, the mainstream media, and all of the gossip blogs and all of the rumor mills pumped this case all the way up, because we've heard nothing but rumors coming out from every which way about Diddy all over. For decades, we've heard about these illicit parties and extravagant parties and lifestyle that he had with these things that were going on behind the scenes. But we didn't hear none of that in this trial. So that's why I made it a point not to even discuss any of those things with you guys, because I wanted to stick to the facts of the case. And that's what I have been giving to you guys. Now, I've had it with all of the gossip and all of the innuendos about Henny's being biased. Henny is biased. Henny wants Diddy to go to jail. Henny hates Diddy. Henny doesn't hate Diddy. Henny looks at this on a multi-level playing field. There's multiple layers to this case that we could be and should be talking about, but all anybody wants to know is he guilty or is he innocent? Now, granted, we are in the midst of a trial, and that is what everybody is waiting to see. This is the moment that everybody has been waiting for, to find out, is a jury of 12 people going to come back and find Diddy guilty? Is he going to be found guilty on all counts, or is he just going to be found guilty of 1, maybe 2? Are they going to find the RICO? You are hearing a lot of people talking down on the government, on the prosecution, saying that they did not do a good job. The prosecution did a good job at laying out the case that they laid out. You know how I know? Because if you've been following over here at That Girl Henny Reviews, then you know that what I have been doing is laying out what the government's case was for you guys, so that we can all understand where they were coming from. So when people were questioning how was this a one-man RICO, Henny was the first one that was breaking down how this was a one-man RICO. And then as we began to proceed in this trial, we found out that the information that I gave to you guys was accurate information on the fact that this is how it was a one-man RICO. How do I know? Because I do my due diligence and I research. I don't just sit up here and talk and spread gossip. I could get up here and spread gossip too. I could get up here and hype it up that Diddy's going to jail. I could get up here and hype it up that this is going on and hype it up that that's going on. But that's not what I came here to do. Many of us were confused about how this man was sitting for a RICO, because we were looking at RICO from La Cosa Nostra, but we weren't looking at RICO from where they are bringing it at now. And what I have been doing over here is I have been breaking down the RICO for you guys, video by video, testimony by testimony, and giving you testimony don't worry, because your girl is about That Girl Henny Reviews podcast on this channel, where I will be sitting down and reading the transcripts verbatim for you. You can either sit and watch or you can sit and listen to. And it's going to be its own little playlist. So y'all can sit and hear everything that was said, word for word, line for line in the testimony, because a lot of people are twisting up words in the testimony and they're using them to be valid facts and spewing it to you guys. And then I see all these people repeating and regurgitating the lies or misinformation, I should say, that's being given out. Let me start with this one right here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Can you hear me now? Henny Glasses in the chat. Henny Glasses in the chat if y'all can hear me right now. Okay, y'all can hear me. All right. So let me start with this right now. When we start talking about Mia, I told you guys that Mia stood 10 toes and did not waver when she was under cross-examination. And she did. Were there some things that she did that the average person would find questionable? Absolutely. Y'all get them likes up. Absolutely. There was. But when you start listening to the testimony of Dr. Dawn Hughes, it breaks down everything for you. But a lot of people want to just disregard what Dr. Dawn Hughes has said. Mia never sued Diddy for $10 million in a civil lawsuit. Mia actually went for negotiations for her severance pay. And the lawyers negotiated, well, they came up with the figure that she was owed $10 million, which she walked away with $400,000. She got $200,000. Her lawyers got $200,000. That's the facts on that. There was no lawsuit filed by Mia. Mia still hasn't filed a lawsuit to this day. Jane has not filed a lawsuit. And a lot of times I even said yet. But I don't think Jane is going to file a lawsuit against Diddy because Puff is paying her damn rent still. Puff is still taking care of this girl, even from behind the wall in Click Click City. I don't see a lawsuit coming out of any of this. I don't. And if she does, then that would be a surprise. But at the end of the day, the government told you today in closing arguments everything that I have said to you guys. I have been accurate. I have been thorough. I have paid attention. So much so that even Charlucci himself said, this my girl. She pays attention. She gets it right for the most part. She has a couple things where she hit the wall, but she be right for the most part, meaning that I get shit right because I'm paying attention. I'm not out here slandering. I'm not out here saying anything that's bullshit. When I go get the transcripts and I read back to y'all the transcripts versus what my video said, I'm very close to accurate to that damn transcript because I'm in there paying attention and taking notes. I'm filling up notebooks with actual facts and not bullshit. I'm filling up notebooks with what these people said and not just what I think and my opinion. And I'm being very careful not to twist anything that's going on in that courtroom, because that is important. It is my job, and I take it very seriously to come and give you guys the facts. The reason that I don't get the clicks and the likes and the views that I normally would get is because I don't get up here and I don't play the game. I don't play the game with anything that I report on. Let's be very clear with that. Very clear. What y'all wanted to know was how Diddy was being tried, how his case was being tried. And I gave it to y'all. And I took the heat from all of y'all that was in here talking ish about me, trying to slander me, trolling me, all on other people's pages bashing me. Lou, that's for you. Today, I'm on timing. I don't want nobody put out the chat. If you going to come here and troll me, you going to catch the heat. Because at the end of the day, it's people like me that have integrity and intelligence that always get swept swept underneath the carpet. Torre was outside of the courtroom, and I watched what people were asking him, and I listened to what Torre had to say. And guess what? People were out there, oh yeah, Torre. Oh yeah. Okay, Torre, we see you. All right, Torre. But guess what? Torre said the same thing that I said, that I've been saying to y'all. Just because I'm telling y'all what the government's case is, does not mean that I'm pro or anti anybody. I don't have to be. You know why I don't have to be? Because what they eat don't make me shit. Lou, suck my asshole. How about that? How about that? And I don't care how that comes off to anybody else. I apologize if you are offended. But if you're going to troll me, then you're going to catch it because you're ignorant. You're ignorant. And you're one of the people that shouldn't even been over here. You shouldn't be in my live because your IQ level is not even high enough for you to comprehend the words that are coming out of my mouth. Because if it could, you wouldn't have had that dumb shit come out your face. Or come out your fingers. So, scroll on back to where you came from. Because the next time, your ass is helloed from the other side. Bitch ass nigga. How about that? I put a lot of hard work in. I put a lot of hard work in. A lot of hard work in. And when I say I put a lot of hard work in, I didn't just go sit in a courtroom and take a bunch of notes. I sat in the courtroom and I gave y'all play-by-play what was happening. I sat in the courtroom. I broke to y'all that Diddy was nodding to the jurors. I broke to y'all that Diddy was making faces. I told y'all when Diddy was sitting up and leaning up and listening. I told y'all about Diddy's facial expressions and his posture. Why? Because even though there's been a lot of people that like to talk shit about people that are in the overflow room, guess what? We see more than y'all do in the main courtroom. We do. And we even hear better than y'all do in the main courtroom. How about that? And I'm not knocking the main courtroom because the main courtroom got a whole different vibe to it, and I loved it. I love the vibe in the main courtroom. But what I'm saying is a lot of folks like to talk down on the people who prefer to be down there in the overflow room. The reason the people from the overflow room can come and tell you what Diddy's facial expressions were, if he was passing notes or not, is because we see him on camera. I was paying attention to what Diddy was doing. When certain things came out in testimony, I looked up at the screen to see what Diddy was doing because we could see him. We could see him front. You see the back in the main courtroom. I gave y'all a lot of good information. And the reason I'm on here on timing right now is because the biases are so real right now. Anybody that is sitting back talking about the government hasn't proven their case are ignorant to the law. And I'm saying that out loud. They're ignorant to the law. And the reason I'm saying they're ignorant to the law is because they're not even looking at what happened. The criminal acts that happened. Diddy committed criminal acts. There's no getting around that. He committed criminal acts. But people wanted to understand how this was RICO. It was explained to you very eloquently today, might I add, by AUSA Slavik. It was explained to you, but we saw it the whole trial. We saw it. And if you didn't see it, if you were tapped in and tuned in over here, you understood it because I was breaking it down and explaining to y'all. And I broke down those 35 predicate offenses of a RICO. I broke that down. I was the first person to talk about the 35 predicate offenses of a RICO in the Diddy case. I did that. I did that. I broke that down with breaking down Jane's opening statements where they talked about Jane. I broke it all the way down. Then as time went on, I continued to line up what parts of testimony was lining up with the RICO. Do you know that took me time to use my brain? A lot of people ain't going to use their brain. They're going to get up here and use their imaginations. And they're going to regurgitate stuff, or they're going to let their egos lead them. But they're not going to give you hardcore facts. They're going to give you what they think you want to hear. Whether you are pro-Diddy or anti-Diddy, there is somebody blowing you up full of hot air and bullshit. And I'm telling you that right now from out my mouth. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying there's someone out there that's filling you up with hot air and bullshit. Now, When it comes down to the defense, baby, there is no getting around how the defense is a team and they are a machine and they are monsters and they are good at what they do. But look at what the team actually does. You've got Alexander Shapiro, who is a great defense lawyer with appeals. You've got Brian Steele, who is the master of mistrials. You got Nicole Westmoreland, who is a beast on cross-examination. You got Teeny Garagos, who breaks down the paperwork, crunches the numbers. That's what she does. These defense lawyers are good at what they do, and these AUSAs are good at what they do too. Ain't no saying that anybody is less than anyone, because these two teams, this is a battle that we are watching right now. It is a battle. It is a feud. It is a duel for Diddy's freedom. That's what this is, a duel for Diddy's freedom. Now, if y'all see that anywhere else, I'm charging y'all with going out there. If you see somebody else say the duel for Diddy's freedom, I need y'all to flood that chat and say, that came from that girl Henny Reviews first. You stole that from off of Henny. Give her credit. At the end of the day, these legal teams have done some of their job. And I'm going to say some of their job, and I'm going to explain to you why. I'm going to explain to you why I say that. I'm frustrated with the defense because while we got to see them do cross-examination, we didn't get to see them like full throttle do their thing. And I didn't get a chance to report on what the defense was doing with their witnesses. The person who calls the witnesses controls the courtroom. So when I've been giving you what the government has been saying and how they've been trying to show us this RICO, I've been telling you what the prosecution has been doing because they were controlling the courtroom. I feel cheated because I didn't get to do that for the defense. And yes, they did a good job at their defense. Defense in this case, people, whether you are pro-Diddy or anti-Diddy, what y'all have to understand is I've been telling y'all this through every video. The defense's job is not to prove innocent or guilt. That is the prosecution's job. The defense's job is to cause reasonable doubt, which means their job is to poke holes in testimony, poke holes in the charges. Their job is to give you the smoke and mirrors. Okay, they're the wizards of the courtroom. Let me break that down for y'all real quick in a way that everybody can understand. Because remember, I have people that are 15 years old all the way to 65 plus that watch my channel. That's my age range. That's a big age range. So I'm saying they are the wizards. The defense is like the wizards. So they have to give you the smoke and mirror to cause reasonable doubt. But they don't have to prove anything. So I would have liked to see who they were going to call, how they were going to counteract some of this testimony. I know we were saying Vashta Wilson. Why would he call that? And a lot of people didn't even know who Vashta Wilson was. That was HR. I want to hear from Vashta. I want to hear from KK. I want to hear from D-Rock. But we're not going to hear from KK and D-Rock because they're considered co-conspirators and they're not coming in to testify. In a way, I feel cheated because I didn't get the full opportunity to even cover the defense the way I wanted to cover the defense. But what I will say to you today is I do feel that AUSA Slavik did layer up and show y'all what their case was. Now, tomorrow, I really want Agnifilo to bring the smoke, bring the fire, put on the show because this is the final showdown, you guys. This is it. This is it. After this, there is no more. Once Agnifilo goes for the defense and they come back and rebuttal for the government, once the government rests for the second time, that's it. So for me, I need Agnifilo to bring it. I mean, when Slavik came in, she kicked the door in today and she was like, boom, 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 boom. I need Agnifilo to match that energy because you didn't give us a defense full of witnesses where you were bringing your witnesses up and letting them tell their story and having the government cross-examine them. You didn't give us that. So now bring it on. That's what I want to see. I want to see the duel of the AUSA and the defense. I want to sit back and I want to feel like, damn, I really have to think. I'm a sapiosexual. I love learning and I love to think. Yes, they got AUSA Comey as well, but Slavik is who's doing the closing. Bye, Lou. I already told you came over here with that fuckery. You was going to be helloed from the other side. Kiss my whole entire ass. Fuck you. The dick that made you and the pussy you came out of. How about that? Because that's what y'all like to seem to hear from me, is when I get real ignorant with y'all. Because I could be very professional and I could be very bougie, but I have another side. And you've been helloed from the other side, my man. Bye. You're talking to yourself now. Nobody can see you. That's why I say hello from the other side, because when they're hidden from the channel, you guys, they can still see the channel. They can chat, but we don't see them. So they be talking to themselves. They think they're in the chat chatting. They think that they're still in the live. No, my age range is 15 to 65 and up. I know what my analytics say. And this is the problem. I don't have time for people who don't want to learn. I'm all for intellectual debate. If anybody wants to talk and say what they got to say, I tell everybody, you are free to say what you want to say in here, as long as you don't get disrespectful or you spam the chat. Don't come for me. Don't come for nobody in the chat. We don't do that over here. The bar is open and everybody is welcome to come. But some of y'all can't handle y'all liquor, so y'all got to go. And again, I apologize to anybody who was offended by what I just said. But I am at a point where I'm tired of being trolled. I'm tired of people talking shit about me. I'm tired of people going in other people's channels and comment sections and popping it about me. I don't allow nobody to talk about no content creator in my chat. You know why? Because I don't have smoke with nobody. I don't have smoke with nobody. As a matter of fact, yesterday I walked to the train and rode the PATH train with Sean G. I know, right? I don't have an issue. If me and another content creator have a difference of opinion, that's a difference of opinion. But that doesn't mean that I don't like that person or I have it out for that person. And their opinion doesn't dictate mine. And we actually were talking about the case. Can y'all believe it? He's cool. I just don't agree with everything, just like he don't agree with everything with me. And I'm grateful for the exposure that he gave me on his channel. Whether they like me over there or not, I really don't care. The fact of the matter is, it gave me exposure. You understand what I'm saying? I talk to people every day outside that courtroom that has a different opinion than me. Everybody that's outside that courtroom does not believe that Diddy's going to jail. Everybody that's outside that courtroom doesn't believe that Diddy's going to walk free. Me, when I'm in the conversation, I'm saying, well, you know, according to the RICO, this, that. And a lot of people are like, when you talk, you don't really give a lot of opinion. You're giving a lot of facts. That's what makes me different. Stop trying to box me in and make me something that I'm not. I'm not a biased content creator. I'm not a person who hates anybody. I might hate Whack a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. I don't like Whack. I don't hate him. But I would even sit and talk to him. I would tell him how I feel, but, you know, that would go someplace else. But anyway, if it's mixed outside the court, jury likely also not unanimous. We've had that conversation here. I've said that to everybody. If we're all confused and we don't know everything, how do you think the jury feels? This is why the jury charges are very important. So when the judge goes to read those charges, I'm going to be paying attention to that because I want you guys to hear what the judge is saying and what the jury must do, what their instructions are when it comes down to each charge. That's what they were arguing about yesterday. Okay, because the jury charges will give them a clear understanding of what it is that's being laid out in front of them. Okay, so if you're saying that this is X trafficking, it's X trafficking due to this, and this. No, Sunday, we didn't see the tapes in court. Only the jury saw the tapes. the jury and the witness. The the parties got to see the tapes as well, but they had like privacy screens over their computers, so you weren't able to see them. Now, I know there's somebody that says that they saw like 30 seconds of a freak off tape, and people are saying no, he didn't, and he's saying that the marshal closed the laptop, and people are saying no, the marshal didn't. I don't know what happened. I wasn't in court that day. I'm just telling you what they said. They said it. I'm repeating it, so don't come for me. But the jury saw it. The jury has that stuck in their head. So there's information that the jury is privy to that we are not. Not even those of us who go into the courtroom. So at the end of the day, you are deep in and informative only this case, or do you have something judicial going on? I don't have anything judicial going on, but I do read court docs. This is what I do. I read court docs. Yes, the jury saw the freak off tapes. I might be throwing bullshit out there. Mac Daddy, don't call me baby mama. I'm not falling for the BS. It's a scam. Diddy a dirty guy, though, and deserves life. Well, see, that's your opinion. You're entitled to that. There's people that come in here and hashtag free Diddy. I don't say nothing to them. That's why I'm like, how could you say that I'm biased when people are in here saying free Diddy? What? They only get put out when they start spamming the chat. Like when you're posting it every second in a chat, no, like you said it. Why don't you give it 5 minutes before you say it again? Or maybe 10 minutes before you say it again? See, you have somebody in here right now that just said free Diddy. Ain't nobody gonna attack him. Ain't nobody gonna say, how could you say free Diddy? La, la, la. I don't do that. I let people speak. But if I feel like somebody is misinformed, I'm going to inform them. And if it turns into a debate back and forth, it's a debate. But I don't put them out my chat because I don't agree with them or they don't agree with me. As long as they keep it respectful and keep it cute, I keep it cute too. I get snippy and snappy because, yeah, you challenging my intellect. It took me a long time to accept the fact that I am a smart person who is a sapiosexual, who loves learning. Swagger low. No, if you're bullying her, then that's something different. I'm team free Diddy too and have disagreed with Henny. We kept it cool respectfully. Exactly. And Mukavelli be here in the lives. At least when I go vertical live, he be here. Now, when I go horizontal live, I don't be seeing him in the chat, but he probably don't get notifications. But either way, he be in here. Absolute 72 has been in this chat. And me and him have debated back and forth, but he be in here. There's a lot of people that come in here. I'm not what people are trying to paint me out to be. And I'm just tired of all the bullshit that's going on. Give the people the facts. Don't give your opinion. Give the facts of the case. I don't think he should go to jail. Grown people know exactly what they're doing, and people shouldn't be allowed to bring nobody in no kind of court after problem has been done for a year. Okay, Drusilla, that's your opinion. I used to come in here and debate about Meech and homie in jail. See, you came for Meech and you stayed for the content. Do you know how many tapes the jury viewed? I don't. I just know they viewed a lot of tapes. But he hasn't done anything different than what the rest of Hollywood does. Now, that I agree with you on. But the problem is, until they start to get exposed, it's always going to be the people underneath that take the fall. And it's always going to be the people that they built up that they will tear down if they try to buck up against them. Unfortunately. Hey, Megan. Hey, Megan. And unfortunately, it's sad that this has happened. You know, for me, I was here for Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm here because I was a hip hop junkie back in the 90s. And if you were from the 90s, then you understand what I'm saying when I say hip hop junkie. And in the early 2000s, the same thing. So at the end of the day, if you came up in that era, this is important to you. I see. I don't feel like he should get life though. You a hip hop junkie too? I don't feel like he should get life though. I don't. Should he be held accountable for the crimes that he committed? Yes. But what about the things that he's had to go through? What about that? So we throw him in jail and we lock him away. How does that rehabilitate or fix anything? Does that take away the addiction? Because you can get drugs in jail. But see, now if we were talking about Biggie and the unaliving, then that would be something different. But we're not talking about Biggie. We're not talking about Pac. None of that came up in this case. They didn't talk about none of the unalivings. They didn't talk about none of that other stuff that we have heard. The closest we have come to anything about him being laid up with a dude or anything like that is the fact that today, AUSA Slavik made mention of how sometimes during those freak-off tapes, the camera would be on the man more so than the woman. That's the only thing. And this being Diddy's first federal offense with no state criminal charges, Diddy has not been charged with any crimes in the past. The City College incident with the stampede and all of that, civil suits were filed and they were silently paid off. But no criminal charges ever came to his doorstep behind that. 7 people lost their lives, but he was never charged with anything. The nightclub incident, Chime took those charges. Diddy didn't go to jail for that. Diddy has no criminal record. I don't know how that's going to play out for the feds. And what I will say is, all we've heard about or all we've heard from are people that were willing to come forward. We don't know how deep this goes. Puff been in business for 30 years. We don't know what else is under the carpet. And trust me, I don't think we want to know what's underneath the carpet. I'm going to speak for myself when I say this. I don't want to know what else is under the carpet unless the uppers are going to be exposed as well. There, you got a Henny thought right there. That's my personal feeling. I don't want to hear no more about what's being said, what's being pulled from under his carpet, unless we're going to start talking about the people that's above his head too. Y'all done already put this man business out here in the streets. Y'all done already embarrassed and humiliated this man. Nobody will ever look at a bottle of Johnson & Johnson baby oil the same again. No one will ever look at a bottle of Astroglide again. No one will ever look at anything the same anymore. He's been embarrassed and he's been humiliated. And yes, I agree with that statement. He did it to himself. He humiliated himself. He humiliated a lot of folks. I get that. I'm with you because he made a choice. He made a choice to engage in all of this stuff. You're right. He made a choice. But we're not hearing about unalivings. We're not hearing about kids and the tunnels and bodies and we're not hearing about any of that stuff in this case. So he's not on trial for that. What he's on trial for is for using his business to fund his illegal life and his illegal activities. It's me, Mimi. I know the victims are being drugged. I know. They lied and said he had laced baby oil. That was all a lie. The media lied and said that. You know who started that? A faceless YouTube channel. That's who started this. A lot of these rumors are coming from off of YouTubes, Instagrams. Somebody hears it, passes it along. And guess what? When they were talking about that baby oil, guess what? I was out here saying to y'all, there's no way that there could be anything in the baby oil, no GHB in the baby oil, because GHB gets diluted. And it would not have a lasting effect or an effect on anyone at all once they put it on their skin. I also told y'all how you can get an effect off of the baby oil. It did, but this is what I'm saying. So when people come in here and I'm spewing facts because I'm in the courtroom and I'm giving y'all close to transcript information from the case, and I'm giving you play-by-play of what's happening, you get people that come in here and want to spew other narratives. They don't want to hear what I'm saying. When I'm giving it to you, and the government just proved that everything I've been laying out to y'all over these past 7 weeks has been on point. I don't have to argue with nobody no more. I don't have to. Because I've proven it already. I've proven to y'all that I do the work. I ain't like the other ones that just move your emotions. I do the work. I told y'all about all of the predicates. I broke down all of that shit. Me. And I don't never talk like this. But I'm going to pop my collar and I'm going to toot my horn and I'm going to pop my shit tonight. You can't say, well, you can say, but not over here against me. That wasn't nothing proven, because it was. It was. It very much was. Because if I was able to line it up, it was proven. I showed y'all how the government made this case. I also said to y'all, be very mindful of how they are stacking these RICOs now. Because it's no longer La Cosa Nostra. It's no longer that. I've been said that to y'all. I've been told y'all, watch how these charges are being made. The everyday things that we look at and kind of sweep under the carpet, like domestic violence, nobody looks at that as being force, as being coercion. But that's how it's being used in this case. And in some states, domestic violence is considered to be coercion. How do I know that? Because I research. I don't just run my mouth. And if a hit dog feels hit, holla. Drug abuse is illegal. Going and purchasing drugs is illegal. Giving your drugs to someone else, sharing them with them. If I go get an 8-ball and I come give you some of my 8-ball, I have just distributed narcotics to you. Y'all better look at the laws. Stop being swayed. It's criminal activity that has been done, but it's stuff that we look at like, oh, that's just, she be popping them E's, he be popping them, they be playing with their nose. It's still illegal. Oh, she be on Backpage. She be selling her box. She be going in a hotel room. She be selling her box to all these different dudes. Them $40 chicks, prostitution. It's illegal. The neighbor downstairs that you hear screaming and yelling and getting hands, feet, and knee bows put on them, and you just sit back and be like, they at it again. It's illegal. DV is a crime. DV is a crime. But it's so normalized to us that we don't look at it that way. You know what, Mukavelli, I ain't messing with you. Yes, we're becoming more and more desensitized to a lot of this stuff. Let me tell you something. A lot of this stuff that I was looking at, I was like, at first, I didn't see a RICO. I didn't see this. I'm like, trafficking. What the hell? Transportation? What? I didn't see it at first. When I started studying and looking things up and really paying attention, I'm like, oh, they're using it. You want to know the fraud? And I've said this before. The fraud that came in was saying, yeah, baby, it's going to be just me and you. And when she get there, it ain't just him and her. It's him, her, and a third. The lie was the fraud. Did you even know that a lie was considered a fraud? I didn't know that lying was considered fraud. I don't know why they're not talking about that, but it's not. And I don't talk about the rumors. I'm talking about the case. Exactly. We're not mentioning children in the chat. Exactly, Lilium. Thank you. Lilium gets it. Lilium. Lilium gets it. She said, hell, we all going to jail. There's been many of y'all that have gotten it already, so I ain't talking to my day ones. Lilium is new. I haven't seen her before. So that's why she got the applaud. Don't be upset, all right? We break the law every day. Every day. And we don't even realize it. Every day we could go to jail just based off of the simple little things that we do. Did y'all know that? Looking at this Diddy case, the fact that Lilium just said, hell, we all going to jail. Facts. This is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. The laws, we keep saying the laws need to change. The laws are changing right in front of our eyes, case by case by case. Look at the Big U case. The Big U case is built off the internet. He is the first internet RICO. R. Kelly was the first music artist RICO. Diddy, the first music mogul. Excuse me. Or just mogul, period. RICO. Big U, the first internet RICO. And you know what all three of them have in common? They're all black. They're all black men. No offense. Not being racist, just stating a fact. I don't know if I said 400 federal offenses a day, but I did say that we do commit crimes every day without realizing it. Well, let's talk about statute of limitation. Oh, yeah, Young Thug. Using the phones. Thank you. That was the first rap artist. So that's 4. I forgot. I don't know how I forgot about Thugga Thugga. That's 4. Oh, and then let's not forget, there's a RICO on what's his name from up here that unalive that little boy? K Flock. He's not the first gang RICO. There's been gang RICOs before, but them four right there. And not only are all four of them black men, they're all involved in music in some way, shape, form, or fashion. What's the most influential thing in the African American community, in the black and browns community? What is the most influential thing for us? Music. So you know what the subliminal to me is? Because now I'm going to put my tinfoil kufi hat on and I'm going to tell y'all. What message is being sent to us is, y'all want the laws changed? Here they are. Because Harvey Weinstein was around the corner from Diddy. When I go to court tomorrow, because I didn't go to court today, I'm going to go to court tomorrow. And I'm going to walk y'all around the corner to the courthouse where Harvey Weinstein's case was going on during the beginning of this Diddy trial. And then I want y'all to look and tell me, did Weinstein go as viral as Diddy did, or did Diddy overshadow the Weinstein case and became the distraction that turned our attention this way? Okay? Well, damn. I ain't even get to see the damn comment. It ain't men sticking around after seeding y'all. Okay. Are you saying Carpissa showing herself on the internet, on this here internet, makes her an internet prosty? We're not talking about the circus. Whose name up? Queen Grandma Rocks? Hell, I didn't even know that case was going on. See what I'm saying? And because it was going on at the same time as the Diddy trial, I couldn't go and sit in that one. What I could tell you, what I will say is that's internet porn. That's dealing in obscene matters. Yes, Weinstein was at the other courthouse, which is right down the street from the courthouse where Diddy is. And there wasn't a lot of media coverage on that case. Everybody was around the corner for Diddy. Harvey got sentenced during Diddy's trial. He got sentenced during Diddy's trial. Yeah. His case was settled 2 weeks ago. He was convicted of the top charges in retrial of Me Too X crimes. Happened on June 11th. New York Associated Press covered it. Former movie mogul Harvey Weinstein was convicted Wednesday of one of the top charges in his SEX crimes retrial, but acquitted of another, and jurors were as yet unable to reach a verdict on the third charge. The split verdict meted out a measure of vindication to his accusers and prosecutors, but also to Weinstein in the landmark case. The partial verdict came after an extraordinary day in which the jury foreperson indicated he felt bullied, and Weinstein himself urged the judge to halt the trial, declaring, "It's just not fair. My life is on the line, and you know what? It's not fair," the former Hollywood heavy hitter declared after making an unusual request to address the court. It's time to say this trial is over. Weinstein's initial coverage initial conviction, 5 years ago, seemed to cement the downfall of one of Hollywood's most powerful men in a pivotal moment for the Me Too movement. But that conviction was overturned last year, and the case was sent back for retrial in the same Manhattan courthouse. Now, see, you said I thought his case was settled, but you didn't even know that the trial had restarted. Boom. This time, a majority female jury convicted the former studio boss of forcibly subjecting Miriam Hilly, a producer and production assistant, to a criminal SEX act in 2006. Jurors acquitted Weinstein of another criminal SEX act charge, this one related to former model Kasia Sokola's allegations of forcible oral SEX in 2006. Henny, who had qualms about testifying again, said outside court Wednesday it had been exhausting and at times dehumanizing. But today's verdict gives me hope, she added. Jurors were to continue deliberating Thursday on grape charges involving hairstylist and actor Jessica Mann. Under New York law, the third-degree grape charge carries lesser penalty than the first-degree criminal SEX Act offense. But the judge told the foreperson, we won't have to go into the jury room if he doesn't want to, adding more uncertainty to the proceedings. Jury room strains started leaking into the public view Friday when a juror asked to be excused because he felt another was being treated unfairly. Then Monday, the foreperson complained that other jurors were pushing people to change their minds and talking about information beyond the charges. The man raised similar concerns again Wednesday in a closed-door discussion with prosecutors, defense lawyers, and the judge. The foreperson said another juror was yelling at him for sticking to his opinion and at one point vowed, "You're going to see me outside. I feel afraid inside here. I feel afraid inside there," the foreperson told the judge and attorneys. According to the transcript, Weinstein's lawyers asked unsuccessfully for a mistrial each time, and concerned jurors came forward. The trial once again turned a legal lens and, to some extent, the public eye on the man whose reputed history of brutishness towards women propelled the Me Too era that began in 2017. Weinstein's companies produced or distributed a string of Best Oscar winners for decades. He personally stood on the Oscar stage as a producer of 1999 Best Picture winner Shakespeare in Love, has become a prominent Democratic donor. When an Italian model told police in 2015 that Weinstein had abruptly groped her in his New York office, no charges resulted. Then 2 years later, the New York Times and the New Yorker detailed decades of sexual harassment and sexual assault allegations against Weinstein. Those disclosures made #MeToo a global rally cry for sexual misconduct, awareness, and accountability. Weinstein ultimately was convicted of sex crimes and sentenced to prison in New York and California. His California appeal is ongoing. But New York's highest court awarded Weinstein a new trial, saying the former trial judge had allowed prejudicial testimony. The retrial was expanded with new charges related to Sokola, a Polish psychotherapist who says Weinstein forced oral sex on her when she was a 19-year-old model. Sokola called Wednesday's partial verdict a big win for everyone and the closing of a chapter that caused me a lot of pain throughout my life. In one of the tensest moments of testimony, she was confronted with a passage from her private journal. At other flashpoints, Mann pointed indignantly at Weinstein as she walked past him in court, and Haley cursed at him from the witness stand. Weinstein's accusers said he exploited his Tinseltown influence to dangle career help, get them alone, and then trap and force them into sexual encounters. And the complexity that spent days explaining, the women strayed in stayed in contact with Weinstein, saw him again, and at times accepted or requested invitations or favors according to testimony and documents. Stop. Because it's the same thing that went on in Diddy's trial, but ain't nobody talking about it. I'm going to read that again. The accusers said they were staying in a complexity. They spent days explaining the women staying in contact with Weinstein, saw him again, and at times accepted or requested invitations or favors according to testimony and documents. Man said she had a consensual relationship with Weinstein that began before and continued after he allegedly raped her. Now, haven't we heard this already in the Diddy trial? Are there any people that have been trying to fight with me that would like to step to the front? Don't that sound familiar? Don't that sound like what happened with Mia? Don't that sound like what happened with Cassie? So I guess all of that psychoanalogy that Dr. Dawn Hughes ain't just bullshit now, is it? The accusers said they were trying to reckon with what had happened, attempting to suppress the assaults for their career's sake, or trying to keep the peace with an influential, well-connected, and irascible man. Order in the motherfucking court. Doesn't this sound like what happened with Diddy? But Weinstein is a monster. Weinstein chose not to testify. His attorneys portrayed his accusers as Hollywood wannabes and hanger-ons who willingly hooked up with him to court opportunity. Wow. Then recast the encounters as crimes years later to collect settlement funds and hashtag Me Too. Approbation. Wow. Hey, C Squad TV. The Associated Press generally does not name people who say they have been sexually assaulted unless they agree to be identified. Haley, Mann, and Sokola did so. Don't that Weinstein case sound similar? Don't it sound familiar to all of us? Same defense. The same defense. What's crazy is 2 days ago, this was the headline on Yahoo News. Sean Diddy Combs' defense rests in SEX trafficking trial, taking a page out of Harvey Weinstein's book with no witnesses, no testimony by client. Combs' decision to not testify and to lean defense presentation is strikingly similar to what Harvey Weinstein and his team did earlier this month in the much accused Oscar-winning producer's Grape retrial, just around the corner from the from the courthouse, all right, where the Diddy trial is being held. After weeks of will he, won't he, the ailing 73-year-old and imprisoned Weinstein and his defense made it official the defendant would sit this one out, like he did in his now dismissed 2020 New York City SEX crimes trial and his 2022 LA SEX crimes trial, for which Weinstein was sentenced to 16 years. He wanted to testify, and we respected that instinct. Weinstein's longtime spokesperson said on June 2nd, after the no testimony decision was made. At this stage, doing so would subject him to scrutiny far beyond the scope of the current charges, raising issues that could unfairly damage his credibility. Our position is one of caution. Today, as the partially found guilty again, Weinstein awaits on a July 2nd hearing on when a new retrial will start. The canny, whatever, offered a surprising point of view on Combs' decision to not testify. In a case where so many witnesses took the stand to share deeply personal and often harrowing stories, the absence of someone as prominent as Diddy is bound to be noticed by the jury. While intellectually we know the burden of proof rests solely with the prosecution, that does not erase the jury's natural curiosity or even expectation to hear directly from the defendant, especially when that defendant is a public figure known for commanding attention, the PR vet added. When someone has made a career out of being front and center, jurors are left wondering, why not now, in the moment that it matters the most? Next to follow in Combs' criminal case will be closing arguments to the jury, which are set to start on June 26th and go for at least a day, extending past its usual hours. The court will run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on those closing argument days, and the same times will surely be the same for jury deliberations, as I am told. If everything goes at plan at this point and Donald Trump doesn't waddle in with a pardon, Judge Submaranian will miraculously be keeping his promise to the jurors to have the case concluded before July 4th holiday. Still, even if the jury goes beyond the July 4th holiday, goes beyond closed doors first thing next week. Despite the media deadlines swirling around the high-profile case, there is no time limit on how long their deliberations to reach a verdict will take. Also battling dozens and dozens of civil suits of abuse and assault from accusers in a number of states, including a new trio of cases filed in LA just this week. The All About the Benjamins performer has been consistent in insisting his innocence in all cases, criminal and civil, and all claims. That should be added. Combs quickly paid out $20 million to ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in November 2023 to settle her exclusive legal action of a decade of beatings, filmed drug-fueled freak-offs with male escorts, manipulation, and in 2018, a grape. In their May 12th opening statement, knowing that a very pregnant Ventura would be one of the first witnesses the jury would hear from, the defense actually took the offensive and admitted Combs was a swinger and a drug user and a domestic abuser and hard to like. But attorney Tini Garagos emphasized that her client hasn't been charged with any of that. I will now be taking questions, comments. We were just reading up on Harvey Weinstein, and it turns out that Harvey Weinstein's case and Diddy's case read the same. They read the same. They read the same. You missed a lot. Positive vibes. You gotta go back. Because in the beginning, I was popping my ish for all the haters in the back that have been popping it about me. Because all I've been doing is giving y'all straight facts. I haven't been up here spitting no freaking lies. I haven't been gassing nothing up. I haven't been lying about nothing. I haven't been biased in what I've been saying. I've been talking the real. And people don't like the real. I don't claim to know it all, have it all, or understand it all, but I understand a lot. That part juiced, or is it joust? Put a 1 if it's juiced, put a 2 if it's joust. So, and now we just read Harvey Weinstein. I'm glad to hear that, Queen Grandma Rocks, because at the end of the day, we all need to understand what's going on around us. Oh my God, thank you, Mimi, for the super chat. She said, ugh, I have to run out. I hate missing the rest of your show, but keep popping your ish, Henny, and the gang. Thank you so much for the super chat. I think that's the biggest super chat that I've gotten. Thank you. Listen, let me tell y'all something. October will make 2 years for me that I have been doing this. 2 years. 2 years. So I want to take this portion of program to say thank you to everybody who are day oneers. And it doesn't matter if you were here in October of 2023 when I first started this. Yes, October 2023. Okay. It doesn't matter if it was Yoast, Jost. It's like Yoast, so it's Jost. It doesn't matter if you came in during Krishan, Whack, Big Meech, or if you came in at the beginning of this trial. I am grateful and thankful for each and every one of y'all because in these 2 years, I have grown. I went from no followers, no subscribers to now having over 15K in 2 years. Now, that may not seem like a lot to some people because some people, they just shoot straight up and go all the way up from there. But for me, that's a lot, especially being the type of person that I am and the type of content that I bring. I think that that's hella amazing in 2 years. There's some people that have been on here longer than that. And unfortunately, they don't have half of what I have, and they've been here longer. So I consider myself blessed and lucky, privileged to have all of you. I do the content that I do for y'all, and it does take a lot out of me. I would be lying if I said I didn't. There are people that are behind the scenes that go through the motions with me. There's been a lot of people that have come to the bar and a lot of people that have left. And I wish them all well. I've met a lot of dope people over online. And even though we may have fallen out and we may not rock with each other no more, I'm appreciative for the time that I did have. There's new people that have come in that I'm grateful for. Like I said yesterday, I got the pleasure of meeting Armand Wiggins in person, Make It Make Sense in person, Tisa Tells in person, Neek at Night in person. Neek at Night, that's my bookie right there. Y'all better watch y'all mouth. Don't y'all talk about Neek. I've met Infamous Sylvia and Queen Sheba Darling and Queen Amahandra. I think I said her name right. But I met those people. I've actually sat and had lunch with Mims and actually got to talk to him. And that was a dope experience for me. No, I'm not fangirling out, but I'm just saying it's awesome to know, to have the people that I've watched now sitting across from me, having a conversation with me, knowing that my channel exists, knowing that even I exist beyond the scope of just being someone who's in their comment section. Henny, you've been on point. You wising me up to a lot of things I appreciate. I appreciate you, Nino Black. You know, I can get gossipy and I could pop ish and I could do all of that. But I want people to walk away entertained and informed. I want when people come here, they walk away knowing something they didn't know. Well, welcome, Tamara. The best piece of advice that I had gotten so far, because I've only asked a couple of people, but it came from Mims. And he said, just be you. And that's what I've been. He was like, if you just be you, the people will come and they'll flock to you. Don't try to be something that you're not. Don't try to just be you. And that's what I am. I also met Lauren from Pop Crime TV. I've had conversation with her. She's dope. She's so dope. I hope I could like get her to collab maybe on something with the Diddy trial. I am going to try to network and expand out, and you know, it's been a beautiful experience. It's been a moment. It's been a moment that I'm going to be grateful for. And October is right around the corner, and it's going to be 2 years. I can't believe 2 years has gone by that quick, and I just keep going. So I want to say thank you to you guys, because I wouldn't have been able to do that without y'all. All of you. Whether you love me, hate me, or are in between, thank you. Because I couldn't do none of this without any of y'all. Make sure that y'all go run my video back from earlier, please, and thank you, because I need those videos, that video, to be viewed and go up. Please share it out. I was following, keeping up with what was going on in court. I will be live tomorrow, so from the courthouse. So I will see y'all. I'm going to end this live. I'm going to pop my Benadryl, and I'm going to go to bed early because I need to be up early, because, baby, I'm seeing there's a lot of new people down there at the courthouse. Okay? And these new people getting upstairs in the main courtroom and all that other stuff, no. No. But anyway, love is always love, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tapping in and tuning in and rocking out with your girl. I will see y'all in the next pour up. Rest well, everybody. Peace.